This 3 essential steps to nail your first pitch of 2020 PR Kickstarter is brought to you by my Hack Your Own PR program. My 9-week publicity course is designed to teach small business owners how to be your own publicist and secure headline news. The program is held real-time, online, in intimate groups of like-minded business owners. It's supportive, strategic, and damn good fun. Registration is now open for my February program. Hi, it's Odette here and welcome back to day 2 of the PR Kickstarter. Today we're going to cover the next couple of steps that will ensure you nail your first pitch of 2020. Now, there are a couple of things that I recommend getting lined up before you fire off that first pitch. And the first thing that I would recommend is just making sure that you have done the pre-work in building up your confidence. Because the last thing we want to happen is for the spotlight to be shone on your brand and all of that hard work that you've been building in your business, all of that money that you've invested into growing it. The last thing we want to happen is for you to secure killer coverage and not feel ready to capitalize on your new traffic, on the interviews. You're not feeling prepared for that spotlight to be up in your grill. So there's a couple of things that I recommend doing before you get to sending out that pitch. Now, the first one is to undertake a digital audit. And by that, I mean, run a keyword search on your name and your business to ensure that all your digital touch points are up to date, that you've closed any old Twitter accounts or unpublished or unlinked anything that doesn't represent who you are, what your business views are, or what your personal views are on the world. You really want to ensure that your current social media represents your values and your business. If you have a personal social media account, which by all means, please do, you might want to consider updating your privacy settings if it perhaps showcases a little bit of a wild side and you run a reasonably conservative business. Likewise, if you're a bit of a wild party business and you're a total teetotaler, you might want to follow the same advice. Now, the second thing to do is to ensure your website is completely up to date. Make sure your key messages, your about page, and all of your digital shelves are completely stocked with products. And if you're a service-based business, that you've got appointment booking facilities integrated on your website so that people can take action and secure time with you. If you haven't already installed a Facebook pixel, now is the time to get that sorted so that you can retarget any new visitors who stop by your website with Facebook and Instagram advertising. Now, the third step here is to write a killer media bio. Now, your media bio won't be sent to every single journalist, and perhaps not in its entirety at least. It might not be sent to every TV producer, but what it does become is a bit of a central pillar for you to have your whole story documented. So this is what you would build your pitches from. And it's also a really fabulous tool for a journalist, a podcast or radio host to introduce you to their audiences. So a great media bio will outline your credibility and experience in a really flattering tone. And think of it as a bit of a narrative version of your CV. One page should do it. Highlight any relevant qualifications and experience that have helped you to get to where you are today. And working in an ice cream shop or Boost Juice when you're 15 might not be super relevant. So think about the experience that relates to the business as it stands today. Now, the fourth step is one of my favorites because it means watching TV or tuning into your favorite podcast that you want to appear on. So this is where research really comes into play. I want you to create a list of 3 media outlets that you really want to get to know. So you want to intimately understand everything about these outlets. What is their frequency? What topics do they cover? Who are the journalists and producers? And the best place to start, if you're not sure which outlet you want to target, interview your ideal customer. You might have some customers and you can probe them on what podcasts they're listening to, what TV shows they watch, what magazines they pick up. so that you can get a bit of a feel on what it is they consume and where they go for inspiration or education. So this could be anything from TV, traditional news sources, attending events, listening to podcasts, blogs, social media accounts. PR really does take into consideration all mediums where you can reach new audiences. Now, the last part of preparing yourself for media outreach here is to do a bit of a topic brainstorm. And the easiest way to fake your confidence is to research your hiney off. So choose 3 topics that relate to your product or expertise and build out a bit of a database with all the latest information that paints a picture of everything you might like to talk about. I always like to brainstorm a few angles so that I have flexibility to pivot and respond to the media cycle. And anything that might have already been covered, I need to make sure that I have more information than what they've spoken about previously. You want to ensure your topics intersect where your expertise and product sit and what the outlets traditionally cover. So it should have a bit of an overlap between what they're interested in and what you're interested in. Now, for every angle, you want to pull together a document that includes relevant articles, statistics, key information that will help you speak in depth about that topic. Try to think about the questions who, what, where, when, why, how, about your topic, about your product, about your expertise, and then answer these questions in detail. These are the typical lines of question that a journalist is going to go through. So you want to have built out a bit of a library of this information so that you can speak with confidence, and then you can craft your pitches around that content. So if you are a fashion designer, you might want to reference designers and artists that have been referenced in your work. And if you might want to document your processes, or perhaps the way you assess your ethical standards for manufacturers or suppliers that you work with. If you're an expert in divorce law, you may want to source white papers on mental health and divorce, or the prevalence of divorce, look up statistics within the Australian Bureau of Statistics. If you're organising a fundraiser or a charity, you may want to have information about where the funding is directed, how it's spent, who the founders of the board are, and perhaps a case study of any recipients of your funding. We really want to try and tease out what your stories are, where the colour is, and make sure that it's interwoven with the why you do what you do. There are so many creative ways that you can build your arsenal to tell stories. It's your job to think like a journalist and have all the facts and figures so that you can speak with confidence. Think about the topics that your customers are curious about and the topics that would help them trust and understand you. There's some great places that you can go to find content that you might have already written. Are there any topics on your blog or your email newsletter or perhaps on your social media that have received a lot of attention and positive responses from your customers? These could very well be fantastic news angles for your next pitch. There might be other questions that you consider in what sort of advice and help you can use, what sort of education you can offer that will help your customers trust you. I always like to think about a product and relate it to what the season is that I'm pitching around. So if it is January and I'm pitching for a Mother's Day story, then I'll be thinking about what this product features and benefits are and how they relate to women or people with children. So that might be looking for trending topics or events that you might be able to hook your story around. So that's a wrap for day 2. You've got a few tasks to get started on: that digital audit, website update, writing your killer media bio and researching which outlets you're going to pitch to, and building a bit of a topic brainstorm. Tomorrow, we're going to walk through how to nail the perfect pitch. And remember, if you are loving this content, please let me know on Instagram, tag me at Odette & Co, and share the love. And if you're ready to supercharge your business in 2020, my first Hack Your Own PR program kicks off in February. If you sign up by the end of the PR Kickstarter, that's on 23rd of January, you'll score a free private mentoring session with yours truly. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you tomorrow.